Hi, I'd like to share with you some exciting things that we at Talk Your Peace have discovered and are making to help to support connected conversation and more ease and harmony in teams. Over the last 23 years, we've been working with groups of people in workplaces, all sorts of organisations, in health, in education, in corporate, families and individuals and communities. And we've been workshopping and co-designing with them resources that we think you'll find will support your communication. And today I'm going to talk you through that. Just before I do, just a quick recap. Marshall Rosenberg developed nonviolent communication, and the genius of it is it's a 4-step language tool that can help us kind of scaffold our conversations, especially when they're potentially difficult. So the 4 steps are: what do I see or hear? Especially when I have a reaction to that. What am I feeling? What are my feelings telling me about my needs? Am I getting my needs met, or am I not getting my needs met? Then I'm going to be in a different relationship with myself inside my body. And now I'm in a position where I can ask, what am I willing to do or to ask to get my needs met? And that's all before we step across the curtain, if you like, and have the conversation with someone else. So I'm going to show you how we've developed a new addition to this pack. What we've discovered is that very often in a conflict, there's one word which, if we can identify it, can actually shift the whole tone and direction of a conversation once we know what we're looking for. And these words we are calling the red flag words, because they've got a little red flag that waves to say you can use this word and it's likely to cause a reaction in the other person because it's actually a muddy word. It's actually oftentimes is what we're thinking. And a lot of the things that we think are judging and blaming thoughts. That's how our brain works, to try to look after us. But if we don't realize that, we can get caught up in the trap that a lot of people do, where they think that these nearly feelings or red flag words are actually feelings. So I'm going to show you how this might sound in a conversation, in fact, and perhaps even a process that goes on inside your own head first. So something happens. You see or do something, or someone else does, and there's an emotional reaction, and there's often a thought. There's often a red flag word, if you like. And it's often an opinion, it's often a blaming word, and it's often heard by the other person or by yourself as a judgment, triggering defensiveness, which blocks connection. And I've seen this work in workshops with a whole group of people looking at these said words, which have kind of been the bad guy in the picture. But actually, if we can put them on the table and give them a place, and recognize that they're a mix of a thought and a feeling, and they're muddy words to interpret, we can maybe make different choices about whether we'll use them or whether we'll actually listen to what we're actually feeling underneath the thought. Either way, the way out is to translate. When I think I'm being ignored, for instance, what do I feel? I might feel sad or lonely or frustrated or disappointed. And when I'm feeling those feelings, maybe I'm longing for kindness and friendship and support, and for our team to work well together. And this actually shifts me back into my own body. So we call this regulation. So when I'm more regulated, then I can start to think about a strategy I might use to get some of these needs met before I step across the curtain, if you like, and have the conversation with the other person about anything. We're really excited about how this can unlock stuck conversations and stuck cultures, actually. And we've got the red flag card sets in 2 sizes. This is the tabletop size, which you can use in the office with your clients, for yourself at home. And we've also got the A5 set, which we've found to be wildly successful in workplaces and groups and teams. Exactly the same cards in each of the packs. And we're excited and hopeful that you'll have a go at playing with the cards and seeing if a tiny shift can make a big difference in your next conversation.